Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Mushoku Tensei Season 2 episode number 2 reaction. Right, so the previous episode, what we got to see was Rudy on his journey to find, like after being broken hearted, he's like on his journey to find, what was the name? Oh my god, I just forgot the name of his mother. Zenith, yeah, Zenith. On his way to find Zenith, and he meets a few new characters here. I think the main lead, not leader, but the sub leader, her name was Suzanne, I think. It'll take me like one or two episodes to kind of get used to their names. And then there was that girl, I forgot her name, Sarah, I think that was her name, yeah. So he meets this new party, Counter Arrows, who he kind of like at first he was like trying to do everything solo, but they kind of invited him in, and he joined them. And obviously, since he is completely like given up on everything, he's just like very casually, like not casually but like not really putting that much effort into the everything. And when they get into like a troublesome situation, he seeing them fight together, like something changes within him and he decides to give it his all. And yeah, he's able to defeat all the enemies and everyone kind of accepts him. And also we get to see in the end him actually taking a decision that, you know what have I even lost? I haven't lost anything. Back in, in the real world, things were even crazier than this, and this is just nothing. I have so many things left with me, so I'm just going to stop moping around and do something. And yeah, got his motivation back. And I'm guessing from here onwards he'll be, I doubt he'll be back to the usual Rudy, but he'll at least be trying to go back to the usual Rudy like he was. So yeah, let's get started then. Episode number 2. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference. And let's begin. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, what's happening? Wait, is Zealand? What? Wait, is he? What? Did he name it? Oh damn! Yo! Nice, good job, Rudy. Yes. Damn, Rudy's jacked. He named his muscles. I just realized it. Wait, who's the character who names his muscles? Oh, it's Mashle, I remember. I was like, there's another character I remember who named his muscles. Oh my god. Okay. Who the hell are you? He seems drunk. Yeah, he seems like a douchebag. Hey yo, that guy looks like that one character from Sword Art. That blacksmith guy? Forgot his name. Quagmire. That's actually a cool name. Doronuma. Yes. Yeah. Oh my god. Rudy put that in. If other people see you like that, they're going to talk about you. Rudy, put that in! What the hell? Okay, so this is the opening. I just realized Mushoku Tensei never really had an opening in that way. It did have ending. Like they just play the song over the like the thing. Yay. He just melted it. No, will he heal her? Yep. No, it's her. Oh, I love the earrings. It is like an arrow, like just like the name counter arrow of their. I just realized. He's naming his muscles. Mm. All right. Okay. Yeah, that's true. I can see that. Can you please give us the details? Okay. Yeah. Oh boy. Okay. Oh boy. Hmm. Oh, they still haven't picked a job. All right. Okay. Galgal. Okay. Damn, this is impressive. Hmm. Oh no. Hopefully, the whole thing doesn't break. Oh. Oh no 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 no! Oh yeah, because of his future reading. Oh boy. Ugh. Yo, why are they so close to the cliff? Oh, they're picking up those. Okay. Ah, all right. Snow Drake. Interesting. Hopefully, one doesn't actually pop out. It probably will. Oh boy, here we go. Oh boy. Yeah, this is a flag. Uh, oh, it's Kishiruka's. I think that was her name. Wait, where's the head of the statue? Oh, oh boy, this is bad. Oh no! Okay, this is a problem. Oh, yeah. Oh, nice. Oh my god, they're climbing up. Ugh. Okay. They have hard scales, I'm guessing. Yeah. All right. Okay. I'm sure they're going to. Yeah, there you go. They just took like a better position. Damn. Hey, yo, this is dodging. What the hell? Yo. Okay, damn, that's impressive. They're not after us. Okay. Oh, they're aggroing Rudy, I think. Oh damn, he looks so much like Paul. I just saw that expression. Oh, this dude. Yeah, we saw him before. Okay. Oh boy, this guy will be a problem. I feel like this party will be a problem. Oh god, here we go. Yep, I knew it. What the hell? Well, you were just there before. Yeah, like, why would we have to not? Okay, this guy's one of those. Oh, it's not even the same place. Yeah. Oh, it's linked. But why do we have to, like, not? I guess he because he announced it. Are you still drunk? Why? Yeah, you better be. Like, can we punch you once? You know, equivalent exchange. Oh boy. Well, we did get our stuff before. Oh my god. Damn, that's a big. Yeah. Uh, oh boy. Hmm. Damn. He probably was. His personality was pretty. Who the hell is this? Um. Yeah. You're drunk. Oh god, this guy just drinks and Sarah's face. Yeah. Yeah. You want me to punch you then? Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Well, just like you. Wow. Oh god, here we go. Another character who just comes in and thinks that he knows everything about the other person. He is correct, however, this is not. Okay. You know what? This guy's pissing me off now. This guy's pissing me off now. Dude, go home. Okay, you know what? I understand what he's saying, but the execution was ass. This is not how people like try to what? Yo, great job. Like a person who has trauma, let's put more trauma on him and blame him because he. I want to punch. I want someone to punch this guy. I really want that. He might not be a bad character, but he pisses me off. What? Oh my god. Yo, he's pissing me off. What happened? What? Wait, did it? What? Mimir is dead? Wait, did it like go to like another job? Okay, so they were like out in a job. Deer forest. Snow buffalo. Damn. Yep. He is always. Mm. Wait, is he going to leave the? Oh, he's leaving. Whoa, what the? Oh, he's making a. Oh yeah, I do remember. He can just control the. Wow. Hmm. Oh wait, this is Snow Buffalo. I just want to choose not to turn my back. Hmm. Oh, damn. That's an interesting way. Damn. Hmm. Oh no. Oh, that's him. Oh. Oh my god. Oh, he took his hair. Okay. I thought that was his. Oh, that's her earring. Yeah. Whoa! What are those? Undead? Oh no! Wait, that's her. Wait. Damn. Oh, the tree is like auto. What the hell? Damn, that tree's like alive. Okay. Oh my god. Right. Yeah, like there's like a little. Okay. Whoa. Oh, okay. Hmm. Oh no, she's going to know about. Yeah. I guess she did have like a realization that that must have what happened. Oh, I was wondering where's Rudy's coat? She's wearing it. Okay. Hmm. Yeah. 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 No, no. She's saying you could have told us, like like together they could have gone. Mm. Is he gonna say like, let me? Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yep. He's gonna pray to it now. Oh my god. The forest in the dead of night. Right. Okay, there you go. That was this episode. All right. We get to see here. First of all, Rudy is doing more, like more stamina training and more like muscle training. You can see he's just like running. At first, I was like, "What is he doing? Why is he talking to his legs?" Wait, what did he name them? Just a minute. Right, right. Just a minute. Let me check. Um, his right leg, Tindalos and Baskerville. Right. So I don't know why he's doing this. Maybe because he just, he's just he just needs people to talk because he's like kind of like in a little bit of a like situation. His mood is not good, and he cannot really trust anyone. So that's why he's probably naming his own body parts and talking to them. Like I was like, wait a minute, this kind of reminds me of something. Who does this remind me of? Another character who names their muscles, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's Marshall. Like I remember him naming his muscles as well. Right. Okay. So you can see him then going back and doing some push-ups and everything. And what he plans to do is just stay here for a while. And yeah, the plan is for them to talk about me all over the place until the verse reaches zenith, wherever she is. And yeah, he's just like that is his plan. And he takes the holy relic with him. And he's off. Right. Now, next we get to see in the guild this guy. What was his name? Um, Whatever it was. Yeah, so he was talking about like Snowdrake and getting them, like doing a job regarded related to them and like hunting them and all that stuff. And he just leaves. So that's the first time we meet this guy. Then after that we see everyone kind of talking to Rudy, and they're like, yeah, Rudy, like thanks for that previous day. You can see he's been helping people out, and they're kind of like a lot more friendlier to Rudy. And Rudy can is thinking like, oh, this is perfect because like they'll help spread the word. And they're also like, yeah, whenever we'll get to know about your mother, we'll tell you. And so they call him Quagmire or Doronuma. uh, I do wonder why he got that name. Doronuma means, I think, like covered in mud or something like that. Is it because he uh I don't know. Is it because he like the first time he used like the counter arrows, with the counter arrows he like helped them using mud or something, like like that whole thing that he did, stopping the grizzlies with mud. I'm not exactly sure why they named him Doronuma. Anyways, so nah, right now he goes to like the guild lady, and like gets like a job and everything, and he like asks for another job. And he's like taking out the holy relic, and I'm like, Rudy, like I can understand you have sentimental value with that, but the other people won't know that, and they'll look at him weirdly, so please put that in while you're in the public. He's just like holding it like this. I'm like, Rudy, keep it inside. Right. Anyways, he then goes does the job. You can see he's like doing like small little jobs, like like shoveling off the ice, the snow, like using his magic to kind of help uh, melt the ice. Then there's like one kid who fell down, and he kind of healed her. And then you can see then he's doing his running, and you can see Sarah's looking at all of this. Right. So next we get to see Sarah outside the guild, and she's like, "Oh, we're going to go for a job. You want to join in?" And Rudy's like, oh, like, yeah, like, can you tell me what kind of job it is? And I guess because of his attitude, Sarah's like, oh, if you don't want to go, you don't need to go then. Like, I'm not really, like, like forcing you. And then everyone else comes in and they're like, all right, so yeah, this is the job. You want to come with us, Rudy? And Rudy's like, yeah, sure, why not? So they go into these ruins. What was the name of the ruins? They mentioned it. Just a minute. So this is a different ruin than the one that they were talking about. Oh, Galga ruins. Here we go. The that guy who was talking about in the guild, and turns out these have like a connection as we get to know. So this is Galga ruins were built as fortress during the first human demon war, and like you know, Rudy is like looking at everything, all the buildings and everything, and he's like very like, fascinated, and he's like like just looking at everything and like walking, and then Sarah like is from using his future looking reading ability, he sees Sarah's going to trip, so he like grabs her. And Sarah's like, oh, what are you doing, and then like they are on their way. Okay, so then they start collecting the Drake scales, which was obviously their job, and they are okay. So their plan was to get it and go back and not go beyond that like other part. So obviously like they were like, all right, snowdrakes might be here, but I doubt they're going to come this far. But I'm like, yeah, obviously like that's not going to happen. This is an anime. Obviously, yeah, as soon as you say something like that, it'll trigger a flag, and that's exactly what's going to happen. And yeah, that's kind of what happens. Rudy like was kind of like keeping an eye on everything, and while looking at this place, he recognizes like an inscription kind of thing on the wall, and it is like wait, I forgot that demon, like that demon's name. I think I just mentioned it while reacting to the anime. I just forgot again. Kishi Kishiruka Kishi something. Okay, what was her name? You know what? Let me check. Mushoku. Something like Kishiruka. Oh, Kishirika. Okay. Kishirika Kishirisu. Something like that. Right. So yeah. So her statue, not statue, but her whole thing is like there. And Rudy sees that, and Rudy's like, wait, is that her? Now, obviously, yeah, it kind of makes sense. Her like like her inscription would be here because like just like as they said, this is like the ruins where the demon war was fought, the first demon war, I think they said. So yeah, it would kind of make sense why her like her whole statue was over there. But the fact is like they don't have her head, like it's only her body. There's no head in the like the inscription. Right. Either way, Rudy doesn't really like pay much. Rudy's like, yeah, like I doubt that is the case, but who knows? Anyways, he keeps keeping an eye out on everything in just in case the snowdrakes come in, and that is exactly what happens. The snowdrakes come in, like 5 to 6 of them just starts like charging at them, and Rudy's like, oh my god, guys, run! And everyone like starts running, and he uses like the mud wall, the thing, the earth wall that he does, tries to stop them, but these guys just like like climb over it, and then Rudy starts using icicles and everything, and then he uses the icicles to drop like a whole like like a land, like like what was that, like a part of the rocks on top of them. And then he looks back and he sees that they're gone, so he's like, oh, like they must have left me, abandoned me, because like that's how stuff goes most of the time. But I was like, I doubt they left him, and I'm sure they like were like somewhere, and they're going to just come back again. And that's exactly what happens. They actually went and repositioned themselves to get a proper, what do you call it, like a proper spot. And Timothy starts shooting fireballs. Sarah starts shooting arrows, and like Suzanne and I forgot his name. The other guy, whatever his name is, they start like like attacking and like tanking the whole thing. So while it looks like they are in kind of a troublesome situation, in comes this guy. Just a minute. Where is it? Yeah, I can't find his name again. But either way, you know who I'm talking about. That guy who looks like Paul. He comes in and he starts like immediately like attacking and fighting, and like just easily takes care of everyone, all these snow drakes. And then when Timothy's like, "Oh, thank you so much," he just comes and punches him, and he's like, "Oh, what are you doing here? Like we told you not to. You know, like this part will be ours for today. So why are you trying to swipe our prey?" Now here's the thing. Like, yeah, I guess he did mention it. Like he's going to come here and whatever. But is this like a thing? I guess it's like a more of a hierarchy kind of thing. Like, oh, like I'm the topmost guild. Like, sorry, I'm the topmost group. So yeah, like better listen to what I say. That kind of thing. I doubt there's a rule that you need to announce before. And yeah, I guess it's basically like a hierarchy thing, and also like a oh, don't go to another place where another party is like trying to get the stuff from them. It's trying to farm for materials, kind of like the mmos, mmorpgs, like in especially in mmos where there's like a like usually what happens in mmos are that you fight an enemy, another person fights an enemy, both of you get the loot. Like as soon as you like at least get one hit in, like even if the other character kills the enemy and does most of the job, you're going to get the loot, because you did hurt it. That's usually how like mmos go. Like it's like shares everything with like. However, I do know there are a few which are kind of crazy in that regard, where the character who gets the last hit in gets all the loot, everyone else don't really get it. So there is, in those type of mmos, I guess there is a thing called like, oh, don't like like try to like like take other people's prey. Like one person does all the jobs, and then there's like these like like toxic players who just come in and like uses does the finishing blow and gets everything, like that kind of thing. So yeah, like don't do that. Like like for those type of things, there's like a rule that, oh, don't do that. Like it's not that you're not allowed to do it, it's just people see you in a bad way if you do that, and they deem you as toxic. Like one person does the job and you get everything else. That's how it goes in those mmos. This one, obviously, this is, I guess you could say, real life in a way. It's not an mmo. Rudy's actually living his life. So that is why I guess that's also like the same thing. You cannot really get like loot for everyone. This isn't an MMO. This is real life in this situation. So one person is going to get all the like their stuff. And that is why I guess he was kind of like, people actually like announces that, oh, I'll be going here today, especially for like a big team. I'll be going here today, so don't come over here. That kind of thing. But one, I can understand one thing, if they like like announce that they're going to come here. They said they're going to go into some other place which had a connection to this place. So why the hell are you guys here? You go to your place. But I guess them coming here did kind of help us out. But still, right? Either way, and like there's like a whole like a bunch of misunderstandings, and they're like, he's like, oh, I just announced it, and Rudy's like, oh, I did hear, like something about him mentioning going to the what ruin did he say? Ilbron Crave. So that is like Ilbron Crave. That's a day's journey from here. This is Galagao ruins. So right. So after having a conversation, so they didn't know that the depths of the cave and the ruins became linked. And that's why, yeah, but still, it's a different place. This has a different name. It's called Galgao Ruins, while the place you are supposed to go and hunt is someplace else. If it's connected, that doesn't make this an extension to that. Like, what type of logic is this? I don't understand. Either way, like whatever. So yeah, so Timothy's like, you can ask the guild, like, we already took this job, and and he's like, I'm sorry, I suck a punch to it. Like, you know what? It would have been great if they actually punched him back. That would have been great. Like I think that would be fair. Like you just punch someone without knowing their whole situation, and yeah, and also the fact that like, and I guess he, like Timothy being, as he kind of says, Timothy being usually very quiet and docile, he didn't really do anything. Like But I feel like this was some other character who's like hot-headed or something, who would have punched him back immediately. Right. Anyways, so yeah, he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I did this," and he's like, "Oh, these drakes are our prey. You only claim one, you got it." And like he's like, "Oh, thank you, like for that." And he's like, "All right, let's go." Um. So yeah, they leave, and like Sarah kind of is like, "Come on, come back with us. Let's go and go to the after party. You never come with us." And Rudy's like, "Oh, thank you for helping me," and like kind of says, and Sarah's like, "Oh, we're not going to leave you. Like you thought we were going to leave you or something, and just like use you as a bait." But usually that's how like like most of the stuffs go. So yeah, like Rudy was kind of surprised and thankful for this. So they come back to the guild, and they're like talking about the whole situation and how Rudy saved them all again. And Susan is like, "Oh, like Sarah was the first person who like just wanted to go in and help Rudy." And Rudy's like, "Thank you so much for that," and like stuff, normal conversation. Right. So then they start talking about this dude. Right. Okay. Let me see. Do they mention his name? Just a minute. Right. So yeah. So obviously they start talking about him, and they're like, "Oh, just because he's like a big, the leader, party leader of a big party and a good party, he that makes him like the master of this place. What does he think he is? Like something like that." Right. So these guys come back. Like, yeah, Rudy's correct. He really reminds me of Paul. And if you remember, I said this before as well, I think in season one. Like, Paul seems like a good person, but he has deep rooted issues. A lot of issues he has. First of all, he's hot headed, extremely. And like and it's exactly like Rudy's actually correct. This guy really does seem like a young Paul. He would definitely be like this. And the fact that I don't like this guy kind of makes me realize that if I met Paul in his adventuring days, I would hate that character as well. However, we met Paul when he's at his best, when he's a father. We didn't meet Paul when he was an adventurer. So that's why I have an overall positive impression of on Paul. If I met him during his adventuring days, I probably would have hated him because I can envision him being exactly like this. And Rudy's 100% correct. He does seem exactly like Paul. I can see Paul doing stuff like this, like just not listening to other people, drinking, making a complete like nuisance out of of himself, and just being this brash, rude, and like a complete pain in the ass. I can understand that, and I would hate that. I'm not saying he's a bad person, but I just don't like his attitude, and that is all. That's just the whole situation. Like, yeah, the stuff that he said to Rudy is kind of correct. It is true. Like he hit the point. However, his execution was complete ass. Like I said, this is not how people talk to other. You are drunk first of all, and then you're like making him like a whole like this whole thing that you did. It doesn't help in any other way. If he was like at least sober and talk properly and kind of tried to help Rudy out in a different way, not just grab his collar and start threatening him. No, this is not how you do stuff. But like I said, like as a person, I think he's fine. He's just like Paul. Like my opinion on him is just like Paul. As a person, he's good. Deep down inside, I think he's like a nice person. However, his personality needs a complete like a change. His personality is just complete bad. Like one of the worst type of personalities I've ever seen. Like loud, brash, doesn't listen to other people, makes a nuisance out of him, and just like being a complete douchebag. That's his personality, and that is what I don't like. As a person, he's okay, I guess. Because the stuff that he told Rudy was kind of true, if you think about it. Okay, so anyways, he just comes in and he's like kind of talking to Susanna and Timothy, and he's like, "Oh, you know what? I'm sorry." He's drunk, completely drunk. You can see. "I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that." And then he goes to Timothy and he's like, but you know what? Your face pisses me off. You have this, always like grinning like an idiot, and I can't stand anyone who takes a punch and backs down without even arguing." He definitely didn't watch Vinland Saga. uh, you definitely didn't watch it, so like, yeah, I can understand him acting like this. But Timothy's like, yeah, you know what, fair enough, and like kind of like laughs it off. And he's like, oh yeah, Susanna also kind of tells me I'm kind of docile, like I understand your point. And then he's like, oh yeah, glad that you understand, like, yeah, good, good. And then he's like, but you piss me off. And he like looks at Rudy. Okay, now I'm gonna like just read everything that he said here, because if you think about it, like his execution was piss poor, but whatever he was saying was kind of true. So he says like, you're the worst. Right. So why are you always so worried about how other folks see you? All right. The answer to this question is obviously because he was bullied. Obviously, nobody knows that. But in his real world, yeah. If you are someone who's getting bullied, you are definitely going to become sensitive to people, how people look at you. You'll always try to think that, oh, that person, he's looking at me like that. Why? Did I do something wrong? Did I like offend him? you know that's how it goes, and this is basically because of that. Like, you can change yourself. You can change your, like, I guess you could say your like physical capabilities. You can like work out like what Rudy is doing. It is going to help you, but at the end of the day, your personality will kind of still be the same. Yeah, obviously changing your, like, kind of working out, being more buff and being more strong is definitely going to be a positive influence on your personality. But if you are someone who has been bullied for like almost like most of your life, it's not that easy to change how you look at other people, and like change your personality. And like, this is the thing, obviously he's a character who got here from a different world, and the values of that world, that is the real world, and this world are completely different. And I guess even if he tells everyone here that, oh, you know what, this is what happened to me in this world, this is how I got bullied, people won't understand the whole concept of, like, like bullying or being like that, because this is a completely different world. Here bullying happens in a different way, you know like, while in the real world that's like a complete different thing. Like, it's like two different, completely different things. And even if he is able to tell other people, it doesn't matter, because his personality, it has been ingrained within him to always think about how other people look at you, because you need to be like that if you get bullied, to kind of keep yourself safe all the time, so that, like, that's how it goes in school, high school. If you're like a bully victim, you'll always try to think what other people are trying to think about you, and try to not piss them off. That's why this is his personality here. And yeah, obviously none of the people here will understand that, because he's from a different world and their values are completely different. So yeah, that is the answer to that question. Why are you so worried about how other folks see you? Because of that. Is it okay to keep being like this? Obviously not. I think like Rudy should definitely, little by little, like baby steps, he will definitely change. And I'm surely, like, like confident that he's going to come to a second position where he'll be able to kind of put his past back, and be more confident in the future. But not now. Like, he's trying, he's on the process. So yeah, that's the whole situation. So that's the first answer to the question. And as soon as he says that, you can see like Rudy just smiles involuntarily. Like, this is like a, I guess you could say, like a defense mechanism. Whenever people try to antagonize you, especially people who are like a bully victim, yeah, obviously they're going to do that. They'll try to put a smile on their face and try to act as if like, oh, it's fine, I'm not offended by you. But the ironic thing is, this actually pisses the other people off even more. you know like this is a thing. Like, bullies bully you because they want to see you react to them. I guess that's like one part of the whole thing. They love seeing other people's reaction and feeling superior about themselves. When they hurt someone, they try to see themselves as the bigger person, and they're like, oh, look at me, I'm so strong and big, I can, like, hurt someone, and he's like, like afraid of me. So when someone, as a defensive mechanism, does the opposite thing, that is here in this situation where Rudy smiles, they'll be not happy with that. They'll be like, oh, what's going on? and they'll even bully you even more. Like I don't know, like I'm not an expert on this, but this is how I think like things work. And most of the situation, even if you're trying to not offend the other people, when they're antagonizing you and you try to put a smile on your face, it kind of works in a backward way and kind of backfires. So he smiles here, and here we go. He says, "The grin of you makes me sick." Maybe you think that's a smile, but it ain't. Right. Your eyes are always looking down on people. Now, I completely disagree with this. I completely. Rudy doesn't have the capability of trying to look down on other people because he is always looking down on himself. You know, yeah, if he said here that you're looking down on yourself and trying to act like a victim, I could kind of agree to him, but him saying that your eyes are always looking down on people, yeah, he does have that like like thing where you remember he kind of always thinks of other people like, oh, like why are you doing this, like like just get it over with, like kind of he does look down on people sometimes, but I don't think it's all the time, because most of the time when it's in this type of situation, I'm sure there's a part of him that he looks down on himself. So I think like this statement is like half correct, half incorrect, or it's like a mixture. Yeah, he definitely looks down on people because I guess that is another way of escaping and like a defense mechanism where everyone's antagonizing you. Obviously, you'll try to think that a point will come when you'll be like, oh, why is everyone antagonizing me? Am I really in the wrong? Is there something wrong with me? And whenever you think of something like that, as a defense mechanism, you'll try to act and at least make yourself think that you're superior to other people so that you completely don't go into mental breakdown. Like people like characters who get bullied, them looking down on other people, obviously they don't vocalize it, but them looking down on other people is another, I don't know, way of, I think, like kind of like another defense mechanism what they do to try to keep themselves sane, at least. Because all the time, if people antagonizes you and bullies you, obviously that point will come when you'll think that, is there really something wrong with me that people does this to me? To keep themselves from going in that path, they look down on other people to make them feel better and be like, oh, I'm better than him. Oh, he can't even do that, I can do that better. And that is why they look down on people. Again, like most of the things that he says here is all the reason, is all the result for him getting bullied for so long and his PTSD and everything just kicking in. Like everything that he does, at the end of the day, the whole thing kind of goes back to the previous world where he lived and got bullied. At the end of the day, everything stems for his bullying. That's how I see this. And obviously, like this guy, he's drunk and he's a complete mess, and he's like, oh, he's looking down on us. Like, oh no, that's not the situation. He's looking down on you definitely, but that's as a defense mechanism, and also he looks down on himself as well. More than he looks down on other people. Right. Okay, Saul, that's his name. And he says he looks like he thinks no one's got it worse than him. Yeah, I can kind of agree with this on him partially, because yeah, obviously, like like Rudy is kind of like that, but I don't blame him, again, like I said, because it's all because of his past. How he really did have it worse in the previous world. He really did have it. Yeah, now this situation is a lot different. True, he is a lot better, and he kind of mentioned this in the previous episode as well, where he was like, oh, like from where I have come, this is a lot better. This is way more better, and why am I still moping around thinking, acting as if like I have the worst in the world? I've got it worst. He just said that in the previous episode, and he realized that. So yeah, that's why I said I partially agree with him here, because yeah, it is true. He is kind of moping around now, and he is kind of thinking that he has got it worst, even though this situation now is a lot better. However, like I partially agree with him, because the reason why he thinks of this situation like this, of him as this, is because, again, it goes back to his past. Because there was a time when he did have it worst out of everyone. Like imagine just going to school and getting bullied every single day, and the way they bullied him was just inhumane. So he really did have it worse, and I 100% agree with it. But now, yeah, I agree. That's why I said I partially agree with him. I will agree with Saul here. Now it's okay, but it stems back, way back in the past. And that is again kind of coming back. I don't know what he's been through, but he won't face it. He's running from something, and I hate seeing brats like that. Yeah, because he is a kid at the end of the day. Now, yeah, you might try to argue that, oh, he is not a kid, he's a grown ass man. But you need to remember that Rudy is a person who was never able to properly grow up because he has always been bullied. Yeah, he went through his, like his puberty and everything, and he was a grown ass man, but he wasn't able to properly grow up because of that. He was stuck in his childhood, in his trauma. So I don't know, I at least think like Rudy's personality is still in development. He didn't get the development that people get while they grow from like a kid to an adult. He wasn't able to go through the proper steps. So now he's still trying to do it, and he's in the process. So, in my opinion, he's still a brat. He's still that. And he's trying to change from that and trying to grow up. And that is commendable, at least from, because of the things that he had to go through. And he's running from something, and I hate seeing brats like that. Right. And then, again, like I said, I don't agree with that. Or at least I partially agree with Saul here. And most of the things I kind of partially agree with him, and I don't agree with him at all. So this whole conversation was a full, I can, obviously, like I said, I see the point in his, the things that he makes, the points that he makes. I can understand what he's trying to say, but his execution was piss poor, and a lot of things that he says without knowing what Rudy has gone through and what his whole past is. A lot of these things that he says that seems pretty obvious and can be easily kind of overcome is not easily overcome, cannot be easily overcome by Rudy, because his situation is a lot different. He went through a lot of other stuff that you guys probably never could even imagine, in a different way. Right, again, Rudy, self-defense mechanism, he's like, I'm sorry if I'm an ISO. Like I said, he tries to kind of downplay the whole thing and kind of not make the other person pissed off. That's his way of defending himself. From now on, I'll do my best to stay out of your sight. And then he's breaks down, and now he goes too far. Obviously, he breaks down, he grabs his collar, and I'm like, dude, go home, you're drunk. And he's like, what is your problem? Are you making fun of me? This is the problem with people with a big ego. They don't really, it's everything is about them, this is why I hate these type of characters. This guy, even if he's telling some meaningful things, his execution is so bad, and I can see there's a lot of issues that he has about himself as well. His ego is, first of all, his ego is bloated as hell. You need to calm that down, this guy. He needs to calm that down, or if he tries to pull this crap off with someone else who is a lot better than him, he'll get punched and he'll probably get beaten up into a pulp. Up until now, this person, this Saul guy, he probably came across people who are weaker than him. That is why his actual personality is like this, bloated, egotistic, and just a complete ass, looking down on other people. You're saying that Rudy's looking down on you, you're looking down on other people as well, and that kind of thing. And like I said, if he tries to pull this crap with someone else who's not like Rudy, who's actually strong and who fights back, he's going to get beaten up and probably left dead. And this is the problem with characters like this. I hate these type of characters. Like I said, he seems like a good person from the inside, but his personality is so bad that I really cannot stand this guy. And that's why I said Paul as a father is a lot better than what he probably was as an adventurer. If I met him in his adventuring days, oh boy, I would have hated Paul. But I met him, the first impression for Paul was as a father. So that's why it's a lot better. My impression of Paul is a lot better than it should be. Okay, so he grabs him and he's like, where do you get off turning down money to get your... What? Where do you get off turning down money to get your name out there? We all need money to live. Okay, now he starts talking about money. What the hell is your problem? If he needs money, he'll try to get money. He'll do his job. The fact that Rudy is turning down money to... what does he think? Does he think Rudy is doing that to make other people look better? Of him? Yeah, maybe there is a part of him that is kind of doing that because of that reason. as a self, like, like kind of like, like thing. But another reason is that he wants to make a good impression because he wants to spread out his word about Zenith. He needs that. And obviously, he's not like starving or anything. Like, yeah, obviously, when he'll need money, he'll get money. He'll use the money. So I don't know what the hell this guy's problem is here. He starts talking about money now. Okay, so it says, are you enjoying life? If not, drop dead. I'm sick of seeing. Oh god, yeah, like, I hate these type of characters. It's so bad. I, I really hope this guy gets what he deserves. Like, he'll fall down on his face very hard. I can see that. His personality is just, like, it's actually bad. It's very bad. It's very, like, what can I say? Like, as a person in a party, I can see him getting into scuffles and fights with a lot of his party members. Whenever any person will go against him or try to get in their opinion, his ego will bloat up and he'll be like, oh, I don't, like, he'll be like that. But like I said, as a person, he's fine, but as a, like, his personality is complete ass. And I just hate that. But who knows, maybe he'll redeem himself in the future. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see that. But for now, I don't like him. Either way, he gets in, and the next day you can see, I think a few days later, he comes in and he again starts talking to Rudy. And he's like, oh, what are you doing here? Hunting for scraps again? And he says, I have my reason, Rudy. And he's like, oh, what reasons? You half-ass everything. Yeah, that I can kind of agree with, Again, like I said, I don't completely disagree with him. A few things I kind of agree with him, and a few things I don't agree with him. And a few things I partially agree with him. This is something that I kind of agree with him. You half-ass everything. But again, at the end of the day, that is again because he just wants to not, like, draw attention to himself. And also because of the whole Ares situation. He's just in the dumps now. So, yeah, like, obviously, he needs to change this, and I'm sure he will in the future. But, yeah, now, I guess, yeah, Sol is kind of correct here. You half-ass everything. And then he just leaves. So, anyways, next in comes, counter arrows, and they're like worried about something. And Rudy's like, what's going on? And he's like, Suzanne's like, Mimir is dead, and Mimir and Sarah's dead. At first they say that, and I'm like, what the hell? And then they're like, oh no, like, Mimir is dead, but Sarah got separated. So, and they're like, in this blizzard we'll get ourselves killed, so we cannot go. And they're like blaming themselves, and what's his name, Timothy and everyone. They're just, so Rudy like listens to it, and Rudy's like, oh, is that so? Okay, right, I must go. So he goes off into the blizzard, and right, so no, wait, he first grabs his stuff, and then he leaves, and he just clears up the weather like he usually does, And at this point, I think his party members could have gone with him, but he never really told anyone. Again, he tries to do it all on his own. He goes off, and he thinks about, what those guys, what Saul said about half-assing everything and all that stuff. And he himself thinks, what the hell am I even doing? Is it because I want, okay, wait, let me read this again. Honestly, what the hell am I thinking? Is this supposed to make me feel better? Yeah, that's what I said, That is exactly what he's doing. He's, like, unless and until he does this, he cannot, like, being a person who got bullied, he needs to do something to make him feel better about himself. Because, like, being bullied in itself is that your personality, your self-confidence hits rock bottom. So to make yourself feel better about the whole situation, you try to look down on other people. You try to act like this holier than thou attitude to kind of make yourself feel better. Again, he's not doing this because it's his personality. It's just a defense mechanism. People who do this because of their own personality, like this type of attitude, yeah, I don't like that. However, his situation has a reason for it. And I can at least accept that, If he wasn't a bully victim and he was like this, I would have probably hated Rudy, just like how Saul did that. However, he has his reasons, And I feel like that is, at the end of the day, that's the whole situation, is that the backstory. I guess Saul doesn't know his story. That is why he acts like this against him. However, we people who know Rudy's story, we look at him in a different way because we know there's a reason for why he acts like this. Yeah, I guess I can see being annoyed at a character who acts like this without knowing what has happened to them in their past. Like I said, if Rudy wasn't a bully victim and he was just a normal person and he acted like this, I probably would have not liked him as well. But anyways, yeah, his all the things kind of stems back from his past, so I don't blame him for that. Right. Uh, and he says like, what would make me feel better? Well, finding Sarah my way, I guess, and that's why he didn't tell anyone. He just left on his own. I don't care if she's alive or dead. Right now, I want to accomplish something. There you go. Or maybe I just want to choose not to turn my back on someone because Eris turned her back on me. That could mean, yeah, he's correct. That is a good assessment of his own personality, why he's doing this. He just wants to accomplish something. He doesn't care if Sarah is dead or alive. He just wants to do something. And there you go. And he just doesn't want to turn his back on someone because, like he knows he knows the feeling of that. Like, it's crazy. Like, I feel like so many things could have been avoided if Eris wrote the letter a little bit properly. Like, she just wrote, "I'm off," and that's it. Like, everything could have, all of these things that are having now, like Rudy's whole, like, going back to his depression, everything could have been avoided if Eris at least took, like, like half an hour to write a proper letter. But she just wrote one line and she's off. And there you go, all the misunderstandings, everything. Rudy is now in complete depression mode now, and everything's just yeah. Good God. Like, this is why, conversation is important. Just have a conversation with other people without jumping into conclusions. Everything could be avoided so much. Like, like so many things could have been avoided if people actually try to understand each other and converse a little bit better. But yeah, people just like think of the whole situation in their own way and just completely make it a complete different thing, and just like yeah. But anyways, so you can see like he uses like that earth spell, just like with that thorn and everything that comes out. That was really cool. He's like walking, and those buffaloes are getting like pierced by those things as it comes near him. Right. So then he goes to this place where he finds Mimir's like body, and he like gets Mimir's I guess his hair as a memento to take them back to those guys to the counter arrows, and he finds Sarah's earring there as well. So he burns the like the place kind of like the body and everything. And he's thinking like Sarah and I weren't even that close, so she wasn't as prickly as lately. I wished I could be better friends with her and talk to her more. Now, while he's thinking of all of that, good thing that Sarah was just beside them. If she was like somewhere else, I don't know like what Rudy probably would have tried to find her, but it probably would have been difficult to save Sarah because she was at a bad condition then. So what happens is tree starts attacking him, and Rudy first defends himself and then sees that Sarah's there kind of stuck. And as soon as he realizes that Sarah's alive, he goes off and saves her. So yeah, like Rudy did say before that I don't care if she's alive or dead. I just want to accomplish something. But you can see deep down in his heart, he was kind of concerned about her safety. Even if he doesn't like express that, and his like attitude is very nonchalant about that. As soon as he saw Sarah's kind of alive, he immediately went off and like saved her. So he takes her out of that tree. That tree was like a auto like kind of thing, like auto attacking them. And then he jumps down into the water and just swims away to somewhere else. And Sarah wakes up, and then they go to a cave, like undress and kind of like like warm the like Rudy uses the fire to warm themselves, and starts healing her. Sarah gets embarrassed. And then, right, so Rudy's like, "Oh, thank you so much." And Sarah's like, "Why are you thanking me?" So obviously we get to know later on, obviously, why he was thanking her, because as he said, it is I who saved her, but I'm the one who got saved here. So Sarah here later on kind of like, like dresses up, and she's like, so Rudy's like, is something wrong with your leg? And I thought like, oh, is she like hurt or something? Like, did she like break a bone or something? But then she's like, oh no, it's just, like I'm a bit, like a bit uneasy, like being here with you alone in this situation. Okay, so here Rudy kind of says that, oh, your guildmates are like, your party mates are concerned about you, and she's like, oh, is everything okay, everyone okay? And he's like, yeah, like, but Mimir is dead. And I guess Sarah kind of did realize that must have what happened. And yeah, so there you go. After that, Rudy is like, so let's go back. And yeah, then Sarah kind of looks at him, and Sarah's like, listen, like, thank you for helping me out and saving me. And she smiled, and you can see that Rudy said here, like, I feel safe, like I have been forgiven for everything I've done. Damn, this reminds me of Fate Zero, Hitsugu going through the destroyed ruins of Fuyuki, trying to find someone that he could save, and finally he finds the little boy Shiro, grabs his hand, and he's like, starts crying. And Shiro thinks that, oh, I was the one who was saved, but it seemed like, looking at his face, it seemed like he is the one who was saved. And that's exactly what happened there. And here as well, Rudy was the one who was saved, in a way, even though he was the one who saved Sarah. So they come back, and they're like his party mates, they were going to go to look for her, but Rudy came back with her. And Susanna's like, so wait, where did you find her? And Rudy's like, oh, I just went off and got her. And Susanna's like, what? That was reckless. What would have happened if you died too? Obviously, Sarah kind of defends him. Sarah's like, oh, she's protected me. Why are you screaming at him? Now, I can understand why Susanna talked like that, because obviously the fact that Rudy just went off on his own, like he could have died. Obviously, she's correct. He could have died in that situation as well. And also the fact that he could have told them that, oh, I'm going off, like, come with me. I'm sure they would have joined him, even if it was like, he did clear the sky, but even if it was blizzard and blizzard was going, if Rudy said that I'm going to go and find her in this blizzard, I'm sure they would have joined him in that blizzard. So that is the thing, like the fact that he never told anyone. And again, Rudy himself kind of mentioned this, that he did this definitely because he wanted to do something, to accomplish something, because that would save him, like save him from his whole situation and his depression, and it's going to make him feel better about himself. That's what he's doing. Either way, Timothy comes in, and Timothy's like, oh, Rudy, thank you so much, like you saved us, like you helped, like if there's any way I can repay you. And Rudy's like, oh no, there's nothing, I just did it, and like, let's keep working together, and you guys also saved me there back then, so it makes us even. So yeah, and then they are off, and Timothy's like, oh, let me, like, lead you back, like, let me help you back home. And in the end, Sarah kind of says goodbye, and yeah, everything is pretty okay. Rudy then goes back home, and he's a bit happier, and he's like, oh, I did something, and so let me take a break. He puts on the fire, he puts the holy relic in its place, and yeah, probably goes to sleep. That was it. That was this episode number 2. And yeah, I've said this multiple times, and I'm going to say it again. Saul is a character that I understand what he was saying. I can see his point. I do, like, understand his way of looking at the situation. He doesn't know what Rudy went through. I can understand all of that, but that is no way to behave. As a human being, that is not how you behave. He acted like a rabid dog. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Again, he was drunk though, but still, like, making a nuisance out of yourself is not good. So I don't like his personality because of that, and as a person, I'm pretty sure he's okay, he's fine, he's a good person, probably deep down inside. But yeah, like, he, just because of his personality and the way he acted and handled that situation, I don't like him, and I don't think, like, I think a lot of people can agree with me on that. But as a person, he's okay. He's fine. He did say a few things that Rudy needed to hear. But that is it. Thank you for watching. This was my reaction to episode 2 of Mushoku Tensei season 2. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button and subscribe if you're new to this channel or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. And that is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Mushoku Tensei. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.